people? I got a question on. I'm doing all kind of videos today. I got to knock out some videos. I got a question on how do you help an officer, or what's a good way to help an officer if you're out there and an officer needs help? You know, that's a judgment call. I mean, as a cop, I'm going to run over there and I'm going to yell, "Off-duty retired officer," and he's going to know right then, this guy kind of knows what's going on, I can drop my guard. If you want to yell retired or off-duty officer, reserve, if you want to yell police officer off-duty and start helping, you can do that. For liability purposes, I want to get the cop to either ask me or order me to help, because there's a law in most states that if a cop asks you to help, it's a crime not to help. So as soon as I ask you or put you under posse comitatus, like they used to get the posse and gather them and deputize everybody, when I say, "You, help me apprehend this guy," I have put you under the umbrella of protection of, you're working for me, I'm responsible for you, therefore you're covered and you're not acting on your own. So your liability is significantly shrunk because I told you to help me. So liability-wise, it's much better if you can get a deputy. "Do you want me to help you? I'm armed. Do you want me to..." If you're after telling a guy you're armed, and you think he's in that much danger, your gun probably ought to be out anyway. Because remember, deadly force is protecting yourself or others from seriously bodily harm and or death. So if an officer is getting his ass whipped, is getting stabbed, is getting hit in the face with a brick, it is reasonable that another person's life is in danger of seriously bodily injury and or death. Therefore, deadly force is authorized. You can pull your gun and shoot this guy in the back. I know everybody's going to tell you, you can't shoot people in the back. This guy's crazy. You're going to go to jail. You can shoot him in the back. Doesn't matter. He's killing an officer. He's killing another person. You're protecting life. You can shoot him in the back and the front. You can run up and stick your gun in his ear and pull the trigger. You can put it in the back of his neck and pull the trigger. You can put it in the center of his shoulder blades and fire the trigger 4 times. It doesn't matter. Once deadly force is authorized, you're authorized to shoot. It doesn't say you're only authorized to shoot if you shoot once, and if you evaluate the threat, and if you shoot to wound, and if you shoot his pinky toe off, and if you shoot his finger off, and if you try and shoot the gun. It doesn't say any of that. You know, deadly force is either authorized or it's not, and once it's authorized, then you're authorized to shoot. So, if an officer, obviously, his life is in danger, I mean, I get help. I mean, if I saw a cop on the side of the road, and the guy was shooting at him in the road, and he had him pinned in the car, and the officer's on the ground and screaming for help, I would just veer my car over and run this guy over at 40 or 50 miles an hour. And I would just run him over. And be, "Oh, you can't do that, that's illegal." Whatever. Deadly force was authorized. I had a means of my vehicle of stopping this threat against another person and protecting another person's life. I'm running a guy over. So, you know, that's what I would do. Now, could I pull over and shot him? Sure. Could I get out and say I'm a cop and pull out my AK or my AR that's in my car and shoot at him? Sure, I could do that. But I could also run him over. I could also, if I had a brick in a car, go by him and stick the brick out the window and smack him upside the head with the brick as I drive by. I'd probably break my damn arm, but I could do that. And people would be like, "Well, you could kill him." No shit, deadly force is authorized. Once deadly force is authorized, you can do it. So when you're helping an officer, you really want to get into that mind frame. Is this a deadly force situation? Is it going to be reasonable? Is everybody going to see that I had to get in here and help this guy or he would be dead? And, you know, if I ask the cop, "Hey, you want me to help you? I can help." He's probably going to yell, "Fuck yeah, yeah, grab, hell yeah." I mean, I've had people ask me before and I said, "Shit yeah, get grabbing." I mean, now once I said grab him, and yes, that person would be protected from limited liability that they were acting under my direction. So if they wanted to sue him, they would have to come after me for ordering him to help. And since I work for the agency, they would go after the agency, and government's not going to let government lose, so you're going to be okay. And government's not going to go after government, and you quasi become government once I make you part of my posse and I order you to help me. So, the posse, I got a great joke on my horse channel or on thing. I'll get to it sometime on the Lone Ranger. But anyway, when you're helping an officer, you have to understand, if there's time, I want to communicate with the officer, hey, I don't want to go up and get in a conversation if the officer's at gunpoint and he's nervous, and now he's got another guy come up, hey man, what are you doing? You know, I got a CHL, you want to see my CHL? And starts, get out of here, I'm going to immediately probably tell you, get back, because you're distracting me. So when you contact an officer, when you make that contact, you need to make it short, brief, and get your message across. I'm armed, I'm a good guy, I'm on your side, and you want my help. Boom. Yes! Okay, no problem. Now you're there. And now he might start giving you order. Go over here. Get on the other side of my car. As he starts directing you, don't give up your safety because he tells you, because he can't order you to do something that jeopardizes your life. Okay, if you're that stupid, you go, can I help you? Yeah, he's got a knife, he's killed 5 people. Rush him and take the knife away. Well, if you do that, then you're a dummy. But if you want to help him and he's ordered you, get to the other side of the car, get behind that fire hydrant, go to the wall, grab my radio and yell, officer down. Get on my radio and say, officer needs help, my portable's out. Any of those directions, obviously if you can do it with reasonable amount of safety, then you want to do that and you're acting in his direction so you're semi-covered. So, how do you help an officer? Hey, you know what? It's a judgment call. You're putting yourself at risk, you're taking a chance, and in this day and age, because of freaking government lawsuits and they want a bunch of sheep and they don't want anybody thinking, they've made it not really conducive for good citizens to do the right thing. I personally think it's the right thing to help somebody, especially from a piece of shit, thug, gangbanger piece of shit, and I'm going to help the good guy. Just like I would if a family was getting beat up by the thug piece of shit, I'm going to help the family. So, you know, just do it reasonably, understand that you're much more protected if you get the officer to say he wants your help. But if the officer is in the middle of a fight, he can't breathe, he's bleeding out his throat, he's on the ground, and the suspect is about to execute him, and he dropped his gun, and you're able to pick up the officer's gun and shoot the guy in the back of the head, you're going to be just fine. Because you're saving the life of an officer. Even if you shoot the guy in the head after he executes the cop, you're going to be okay. Because, now if you miss and the guy turns around and shoots you, then you got other problems. But, again, when I'm shooting somebody, I want my gun as close to them as I can. If I can get it, I don't care if it's touching them or not, the closer I get, the better. Okay, now I don't always move into the threat, but if I'm moving in behind somebody, or I'm flanking somebody from the side, I'm going in fast and hard, and when I come in on you, I'm coming in to get my gun just as fast as I can in there and pop as many rounds as I can as close, because I don't want to miss. I don't want to hang way back here and evidently miss, or he moves, or I get an arm or something. When I come in and I know I'm going to use deadly force on something like that, I'm going to come in close, and I'm going to get as close as I can and really start putting rounds in this person. And I'm emptying my gun, because I don't want this guy getting up. I don't know if he's got friends. I don't know how good my bullets are. I don't know if he's on crank and he's not going to fill it. I don't know what's going to happen. So, when you're deciding to disarm somebody, or that's one of my last video, but when you're deciding to get involved with a cop, either armed or not armed, or picking up his, you know, I mean, I've given, in Sacramento, I gave one guy a shotgun. He was like, man, I'm a security guard, you need some help? I go, yeah, grab my shotgun on the floor over there. And he grabbed my shotgun. Now, luckily, he didn't shoot anybody, because now if he shoots somebody, I'm kind of screwed, because I've armed somebody without knowing their training. But you know what? It was a bullshit, intense situation. The guy was armed, I was by myself. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want somebody with a gun. Now, as soon as it stabilized, other cops got there, I immediately said, point the gun to the ground, give it back, thanks for your help. And I'll talk to you in a minute. But I retrieve my gun because I don't want him shooting somebody running around there with a gun. Now the problem with that is also when you're helping somebody and other cops are responding, they don't... Did I start my timer? I hope I did. Oh, I did. I got 5 minutes. Okay. I'm on my YouTube probation. So when other officers are responding and you're helping a cop, you're at real risk. And I mean, I've seen a lot of people helping get snagged and tossed to the ground when other cops show up. And that's just part of the risk you take. Now, obviously the officer, if he can get it out, he's a good guy, and he'll usually get it out. He's a good guy, he's helped me. He's not a problem. But when officers show up and an officer's yelling for help and it's a crisis, and now you got some citizen helping, when other people show up, they don't know if you're a good guy or a bad guy. So the closer you can stay to the cop, the more you can be under the control of the cops so he can control the cops from jumping on you, the better you're going to be. And again, if a cop asks you for help and you're helping him and other cops show up and say, you in the blue hat, drop the gun, I'm going to say, hey, I'm helping him, I'm dropping it. I don't drop my guns. I lay my guns down. If a cop's going to shoot me for laying my gun down, I'm getting shot. But I'm not throwing down one of my guns that I've taken a lot of care and time and babying and cleaning and taking care of. I'm not throwing that on the ground. Not for some cop who's worried about me shooting him. I'm telling him I'll lay the gun down, but I ain't dropping it. And I ain't kicking it. And don't you kick it. We're going to have problems. So anyway, you know, when you help a cop, there's all kind of factors. Other cops are coming. Are they going to recognize you? You're not going to be recognized. You have to be really aware of other cops as being also a threat. The suspect's a threat. The officer's going to be directing you. There's going to be a lot of things going on, and you're taking a risk. Now, I'm a risk taker. I don't mind taking it. I kind of enjoy it. I like taking risks. I think life's pretty boring if you don't take risks. Okay? I ride horses. I don't wear helmets. I ride motorcycles. I don't wear helmets. I do shit. I shoot guns. I do shit because it's fun. It's exciting. Okay? If I want to knit, I'll save that shit till I'm in my 80s if I'm still around. But other than that, I don't mind taking risks. I'm kind of a risk taker. I think that's when I excel. That's when I'm at my best because I've been in a lot of high-stress situations. That's when I function the best. That's when I go into auto mode, my tactics, my thinking, my securing the scene, my protecting my flanks, all my things start running to me, which I kind of like, and I feel that's my comfort zone. You know, people are like, man, you're crazy. You're chasing these guys, gangbangers in a gang neighborhood down the middle of the street and kicking in a door by yourself, and you don't have any backup. You're crazy. And I'm like, you know, maybe somebody else thinks you're crazy. I see it as, you know what, I'm going after the guy. I got my gun. We're pretty equal. I think I'm probably better prepared than him. I'm better tactically sound, and I don't have a problem with that. But, you know, a lot of cops are scared. They don't want to do anything without 4 cops around them. They're nervous. They got to have their vests, their goggles. They got to look like a badass because they're scared and they're not a really badass. You know what? I put my little shirt on that said police, and me and my partner, we'd go out in some badass neighborhoods, and people would always come and say, you guys are crazy. You're going to get killed. You guys are unsafe. You guys are cowboys. You guys are out here playing Starsky and Hutch and shit, and then we got to come bail you out. And I was like, yo, motherfucker, you're out here getting paid in a uniform, sitting your ass in a car. You ain't doing nothing else. Why can't you come bail us out? Man, that ain't the point. You come in our jury. And then, you know, the beef starts. It's like, fuck you. You know, we're taking our prisoner. We're out of here. So, you know, and this happens quite a lot. I mean, cops, everybody kind of think cops are all, oh, we love each other and we're hugging and shit. When you start going in turf wars and you start working in other people's jurisdictions, it ain't huggy-fuzzy. Cops take that shit personal. They think it's theirs. They want that control. They don't want other cops coming in. They want to be in the know. The sergeant wants to be in the charge. The dispatcher wants to know how many guys you got, so when she gets on the radar sheet. So everybody wants their little piece of the perf. But you know what? All that takes time. It slows down shit. When you're following in a rapidly evolving investigation and you're jumping house to house and this guy gives you a tip and a guy's there right now, by the time I make all these notifications, get all these people, get out, shit, my guy's gone. And I was all about catching a bad guy. So, I mean, I digress. I don't know where the hell I was going, but be under the knowledge that when you help somebody, other cops coming are a threat, and you have to be ready to listen to their commands along with the guy you're helping. And, I mean, if you can get on the radio, request officers to say all that. I mean, it's me. I'm going to say there's an off-duty officer here. I'm in plain clothes. I got a blue hat on. I've got a Glock. I'm helping. Notify responding officers not to shoot me. I'm going to be next to the car. So I'm going to be on the radio letting them know that after I got out, you know, depending on, you know, is the guy shot? Do I need medical help? Did the car flee? What kind of car? Do I got a vehicle description? Do I have suspect description? How many suspects? Or some, you know, I'm going to get out all the pertinent information first, but as soon as I get a second and it's stabilized, I'm letting everybody know there's an off-duty cop here freaking helping. And don't be shooting me or coming up here trying to grab me. So that's helping a cop. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully I gave you a little insight. Again, a lot of these questions always promote more questions than answers, but that's what learning is. I mean, people think things are in a box, and law enforcement, and there's this real easy checklist, and it's just like going to the store and buying a donut, and that's all cops do. But there's a lot of factors that go into a lot of decisions about safety and reaction time and response time and who's there and who's a friend and who's a foe and how many people you got and are you losing or are you winning, and So there's all kind of things. There's my YouTube timer at 15 minutes. All right, we'll end that there.